It's 1991. We're post-Acid House, at least in a commercial sense, and we're pre-Britpop. We're in a world of long-sleeve t-shirts, baggy jeans, and curtain-like floppy fringes. Welcome to the indie disco. Well, today we're 9th of February 1991, and the cover stars are the wonderful, if one-hit wonderish, Dee-Lite. The Noise from Brazil. What a single that was. Groove is in the heart, eh?
Yep.
It was. What a great single and what a great video. Other mentions on the cover for My Bloody Valentine, The House of Love, Plastered in Paris, and The Hacienda Closed. Together with Julie Cruz, Bomb the Bass, and Lowell Tolhurst.
Julie
Julie
Cruz. Oh.
That's my phone, sorry about that. Hang on.
You're on the telly. Oh no.
I know. No, I'm not on the telly.
It's not live.
Incidentally, today's beer is a rather nice Whitewood Hobgoblin IPA. And very nice it is too. So, on to the news pages. And some names we can mention here is Ride, The Farm, The Inspiral Carpets, The Bridewell Taxis, The Soup Dragons. We are at the indie disco, aren't we? Carter, The Unstoppable Sex Machine's first album, 101 Dalmatians, is released on cassette for the first time this week. That's before they were called Carter USM, I guess. They weren't famous enough to be partially acronymed. Hacienda, that official. I guess this was when Hacienda had to close because of drug wars. It says here, Manchester's Hacienda nightclub has voluntarily shut down because of the threat of gang violence. A packed press conference was held on the club's dance floor last week to hear Tony Wilson, along with co-owners New Order, read from a prepared statement. It's the most depressing day in Manchester club history, said Dave Haslam, influential DJ. I think the Hacienda are correct in what they've done. I loved the Hacienda because it was a place you could go and not feel threatened by pissheads. But ironically, violence has closed it. Absolutely. Public Enemy have a new vocalist, Sister Souljah. And Sinead O'Connor has declared she will refuse to accept a Grammy Award if she wins one later this month. Let's turn the page and we've got more news. Soho, flushed with the belated success of their Hippie Chick 45, released their second LP, Goddess, on February the 18th. And there was a staple of the indie disco, wasn't it? Hippie Chick. Great single. I've got to be honest, I can't mention one other, or can't think of one other song they did, but if you're going to be remembered, that's a good one to be remembered by. De La Soul.
That's a delay soul.
Delay Soul.
Mm.
Is it?
That's what that said there.
Oh, and that's the headline. Delay Soul. I thought I'd got something wrong then. De La Soul. Delay Soul. They've been forced to delay the release of their long-awaited second LP. Record news. New 45s from, let's look down through there. Gangstar, The Godfathers, Inner City, Jesus Loves You, as well as Candy Flip, Bass Cut, Babyface, and a lot of others that I don't remember. LPs, Daniel Ash, ex-Bauhaus Man, Magnetic Fields, Todd Rundgren, Subsonic, Toya, etc. And touring, Extreme Noise Terror, one of John Peel's favourite very noisy thrash bands. This was a period, of course, where we were in between times, so I fully expect to find in this in this edition of N.M.E. A total melange of music. I dare say we're going to come across heavy metal, a little bit of thrash, some dance music, lots of indie music, but we were sort of betwixt times, so to speak. Let's turn the page and see what we got here. There was a lot of, we'd reached the point as well in the music papers where there was a lot of so-say comedy and funnies, as my mum used to call it. So we got a couple of pages of that. Seminal moments in rock. The day Phil Lynott met his father-in-law-to-be, which of course was Leslie Crowther, for those old enough to remember. So it's a sort of imagined conversation on their first meeting. Incidentally, Phil Lynott had a country house not too far where we lived, where I lived in the West Country, and it was quite commonplace for people to get into the grounds and have a little look around. There we go. Enormous Pigs, the first in a series of snaps that build week by week into a portrait library of really huge pigs. And this one looks remarkably like Donald Trump. And Material World with Julie Cruz. Every Lynch fan's favourite, as Gemma will tell you. And we learn that her favourite drinks are decaf Diet Coke.
That's one of mine.
One of yours. Strong coffee.
One of mine.
Yeah. Chocolate milk.
Oh, yeah.
Top film directors.
David Lynch.
David Lynch. Kubrick.
Huh?
Favourite mood, silly and obnoxious. That sounds a bit like you. Not at all, babe. Fave sensations, taste, touch and sleep.
Yeah, sleep.
Her favourite bodily organs were mouth and eyeballs. Have you floated anywhere recently? Nope. Who's the hardest, MC Hammer or Vanilla Ice? And she just said no. Animals, Cocker Spaniels. I'm a great Cocker fan. Cocker Spaniels, guys. Breakfast cereal, Fruit Rocks with Red Hot Comets. And so on and so forth. Saddest song ever, Days of Wine and Roses. Favourite fruit, banana. Your philosophy, to laugh and let laugh. And there's a good philosophy. What have we got here? Heavenly and Moose. Moose were, in my eyes, one of the most underrated bands of the period. They had some great songs. I guess possibly what let them down, maybe their image wasn't fantastic, but really, really good songs. I like Moose a lot. One's Ear to the Underground. Carter, I was saying they weren't called Carter USM at this point, but N.M.E here have called them Carter TUSM, Carter the Unstoppable Sex Machine. So the acronyms were starting. The Family Cat, who quite close to my heart from where I lived in the West Country, because our local heroes, the Driscolls, used to support the Family Cat on a regular basis. My Bloody Valentine. Well, how tremolo can you go into the deepest, darkest depths of love and obsession? That's where as my Bloody Valentine muse on sex, drugs and the usual malarkey. An advert for Vox, which was one of the first of the glossy monthlies. I think it was before Select and Q, but those were the three at the time. Full page advert for the very best of Thin Lizzy. And here we have an advert for Straight Outta Camden, the sort of early Camden scene. The Faith Healers, great band. Silverfish, who I always thought Leslie Rankin was Scottish, but there we go. The Lars, Feeling. What do we got here then? This is Lol Tolhurst's new band after being sacked by The Cure. Presence. Can't say I know much about them. I think my knowledge had dipped dramatically by this point overall on music. I think I was spending too much time in the indie disco. The singles reviews. Who have we got? The Midwich Cuckoos, Banderas, Sensi, Well Loaded, never heard of any of them. The Lars, George Michael, Heal the Pain, Candy Flip. Single of the week was 808 State, In Your Face. Well, I know that one, of course. The Moonflowers, another Bristol band. Great live band. The Magnificent Kevin, which is Kevin Costner. They were deviated into film quite a lot too. The Real People, seminal Liverpool band in the indie scene. This is their film pages. Sarah Records, an advert for Heavenly, The Wake and Tallulah Gosh. Fluke, Left Field. This is sort of dance page. They tended to seem to remember they separated things up into various different genres throughout the paper here. Here's a big article about Rock in Rio, which is a huge festival, which is why Dee-Lite were on the front. Lots of other bands played. The Cult, Happy Mondays, Dave Mustaine, Megadeth Boy, Lisa Stansfield, Prince. Quite a big thing, actually. Full page ad for Dream Warriors and Now the Legacy Begins. That's a great album. Wash Your Face in My Sink and My Definition of a Boombastic Jazz Style. Great singles. And on to the album reviews with Birdland. I've actually got quite a lot of Birdland records, and at the time they were quite exciting.
Are they the ones that did that Thingy in My Soul? No.
No, that was your thing.
They Must Be Giant.
They Must Be Giants, yeah.
It's got the word bird in it.
It's got word bird in
Oh,
it.
okay.
It's close enough, isn't it? No, Birdland were a four-piece sort of rock band that all had bleached blonde hair, a la the Police, but longer with slightly sort of long fringes. And looking back on it, they were pretty bloody
Are
ordinary.
they the ones that look a little bit like four Tim Burgesses?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the ones.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. But I've got quite... Maybe I should revisit. I might be being cruel on them. Motorhead, 1916. And two Sarah releases, Heavenly and The Wake. What have we got here? Short Circuit. What's this? Bevis and Twink. This is presumably Bevis Frond and Twink, ex-Fairies drummer. Yeah, didn't even know that existed. Magic Eye. I shall investigate. Some interesting names in there. The Melvins, Boss Hog, Chrome, Flaming Lips.
Boss Hog were good. Boss Hog was something to do with John Spencer, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Pussy Galore, yeah. Live ads. AC/DC at Wembley Arena. Of course, you go back to some of the reviews I've been doing so far, where these giant gigs like that just didn't happen then. I suppose the biggest, if you go back 10 or 15 years from now, the biggest gigs were Wembley Empire Pool and things like that. But some of the names we got here: Ned's Atomic Dustbin, The Real People, Napalm Death, another of John Peel's favourite noise bands. Senseless Things, who I actually like quite a lot. A lot of people thought of them as sort of cut price Mega City 4, but I like Senseless Things. Ride with special guest Slowdive. Jane's Addiction, 808 State, The Men They Couldn't Hang. Dream Warriors and The Lars with the Milltown Brothers. It's definitely the indie disco. Carter again. Throwing Muses, The Dream Academy. Perfect Disaster. There's another band that were a fantastic band and didn't really get the kudos they deserved. Leatherface, Bleach. Dumpy's Rusty Nuts. The Dylans, Girotti column. Then we go to, what do we got here? Bomb the Bass. Live pages have got Rockin' Birds, Band of Holy Joy, the Moonflowers, the Bristol band I was telling you about. They were getting a little bit of national coverage at the time. House of Love, EMF.
Was that Moo Moo Land?
No,
Was that KLF?
that was KLF.
Oh, was the KLF and EMF?
EMF was Unbelievable.
That's right, yeah.
And then their second single, I Believe. So they had a couple of hit singles, but basically they found a niche with Unbelievable and then just copied it.
With the word believe.
Yeah.
Believe.
But it was a great single. Great single, but yeah, they didn't have many ideas after that. Classifieds, then they look back in time in the N.M.E over the years. Crossword, which I didn't do that week. And the ads pages are rather different to the 70s ones, whereas we had loons and Afghans and clogs in those days. Here we've got plain mod-style trousers, American baseball jackets, ski pants, original Breton shirts. So yeah, very, very indie disco.
Everything's a lot smaller writing as well, isn't
It is, yeah, you're right. In
it's
fact,
not as pleasing to look at.
yeah, that's tiny, tiny writing. Tiny writing. And the charts. Number 1 in the singles chart was 3 AM Eternal by KLF. Do the Bartman by The Symptoms at number 2.
I was 11.
Wiggle It by Two in a Room. Innuendo by Queen. Cry for Help by Rick Astley. I Want to Give You Devotion by Nomad featuring MC Mikey Freedom, which everybody in Clevedon, my hometown, will know. And he's still in Clevedon now. Yeah, Mikey Freedom comes from Clevedon. Guested on that one single and has lived off it ever since. But it's a fabulous single. One of the best of the period of that type of music. I Believe EMF, What Do I Have to Do by Kylie, Hippie Chip by Soho, and Only You by Praise, a new entry at number 10. The independent 45s, which you call indie charts, had come in by this point. We've got names such as Spacemen 3, Birdland, The Manics, Moonflowers, The Farm, Heavenly, Butthole Surfers, The Damned, Teenage Fan Club, Spin, Happy Mondays, The Dylans, etc. And the independent LPs, Silverfisher at number 1, The Mondays, Charlatans, Lush, The Shaman, Heavenly, New Fads, that's New Fast Automatic Daffodils, great band. And the UK Top 50 albums, number 1 was The Soul Cages by Sting. A few other names in the top 10. Enigma, good lord, there's one to forget. Alexander O'Neill, Madonna, Jesus Jones, Chris Isaac, Whitney Houston, Phil Collins, and David Lee Roth. Lots of other little charts too. Lots of other little charts. Then we have the letters page. And RJ from Guildford says, what a bunch of self-important, miserable pricks the Manic Street Preachers are. We'll never write a love song or ballad, they said, as if they could anyway. Motown junk, I'm pissing myself with laughter. Right, I think they were laughing within a few years and made lots of money. We've got Vic Reeves here. This is Public Enemy, which is sort of the gossip page. Well, every music paper's had them since time immemorial. Vic Reeves, Bob Mortimer, Jonathan Ross, etc, etc. And finally on the back page we've got an advert for Interflora's Valentine's Bouquet. Guaranteed to get to her, call today. Not only was it the indie disco days, it was the days of romance too. See you next time.
Mark Talks Max. Mark Talks Max. Mark Talks Max. Mark Talks Max. Max.